got a question in here from Jacqueline Hyde, our guy. He says, request from my mom who's tuning in for the first time. Shout out to Jacqueline Hyde's mom. Appreciate you for tuning in to State of the Jungle. Hopefully we kept you entertained and you want to come back each and every single Wednesday with us. But he says, request from my mom tuning in for the first time. Can y'all talk about Uno's hold-in? Yeah, Uno wants to get paid. He wants to get paid. I'm just going to say this because I don't know if this has been overly stated as much. This is really cool for the Bengals. Mm-hmm. Not the part that he's holding in, the part that he's asking to get paid now versus like waiting. Because I personally think his contract is going to be so much more expensive if you were to wait 2 years from now versus paying him now. This is a bargain chip. This isn't what you often see from a lot of players unless they are fearful that, hey, I might not, maybe the best is behind me. Right? I don't think the best is behind Uno. I think Jamar Chase has so much more to give. And I also think that the fact that he wants to get paid now, whatever you sign him to now is going to probably almost seem like a bargain. Definitely, if not a year from now, definitely 2 years from now. So I think it behooves the Bengals, in the Bengals' best interest to pay him. I know that Jamar Chase is a priority for them. I do believe a deal will get done potentially. I can't say that the deal will get done this offseason. I also think you got to understand when players hold out or hold in, it's not that they're upset or they're grumpy, right? Sometimes it's also a protection thing for them, where maybe they feel like, hey, I got to protect myself, lessen as much injury chances as possible, and maybe me going out there playing practices that I might not see as beneficial, and I know the way I prepare. And all the talk you hear from Jamar Chase is still training. Yeah. Jamar Chase is still working out. He's just not participating in team activities and stuff like that. Outside of him missing that one practice this past week, which we don't know what he had going on in his personal life, something came up, whatever the case may be, he's going to be out there for the Bengals week 1. He's not going to miss real games. I have a hard time seeing him miss real games. And I love the report that came out. The reason why he didn't hold out is because he would have missed out on $3 million by day 3 of training had he did hold out, right? So obviously the money he's making isn't bad. It isn't egregious. It's to the point where he understands that, hey, I might want to get paid and stuff like that, but also it's a protection thing. Why would I go out there if I don't have a contract in place and I know that I'm due for a huge contract? I'm with the team in Chicago right now. Yes, he's with the team in Chicago right now. I'm watching practice almost each and every single day. I'm getting those mental reps. I know the offense. Why do I have to be out there each and every single? I understand that the overall sentiment is we want to see him out there. We want to see him out there. We want to see him playing. We want to just see the team gelling together. But I also just want to caution people. A lot of it is health related too. You want to make sure that you don't end up with an injury. You want to make sure that you protect yourself as much as possible. And you want to make sure that you're not putting that wear and tear on your body, because guess what? You don't have a long-term contract in place. So you want to make sure that when that time comes, when week 1 comes, you're at your absolute best for this football team. I hope that I explained that in the
I want to point out too that again, it's important for me to reiterate that right now, like on the rookie contract, you really can't hold out. That's why he's doing a hold in, right? He's still showing up. He's still on the sideline. He's still doing individual drill work. He's still just kind of there, meandering, interacting, all that. Because if he did what Saquon Barkley or Aaron Donald originally tried to do, the way that CBA is set up right now is if you're on a rookie contract and you actually hold out like into the season, you lose a year of eligibility, which means instead of hitting free agency after your 5th year, you now have to play another year. So you get to
not what they want.
Right, which is the opposite of what you want, because as a player, you make the most money by hitting the market repeatedly. 2-3 year deals every time, because other deals are pushing that number up. So you want to try and get to market as often as possible. That's the way to maximize your earnings. And so there's no incentive for him to really do a complete holdout where he's like, I know some people are like, oh, he might not play for the first 3 or 4 or 5 games. And it's like, if you do that, he's going to lose a year of eligibility. So then he has no leverage. He's only hurting himself. The Bengals don't get hurt by that. They get to keep him for another year, right? So I think you'll see him play. I think this is just a way of him through actions speaking to, I want this done quickly. I really want this done urgently. And I believe I deserve to get paid and have shown enough for that, which I think are all valid points. But again, he's not out in the media, just talking into the camera, causing problems. His agent's not doing it. This has been a very largely like tight-lipped situation where even NFL insiders, quote unquote, which, it's the Bengals. They don't talk to these guys. And if Jamar Chase and his agent aren't frustrated, they're not talking to people, right? Which is why we haven't gotten so much information that. The same thing with Joe Burrow. we were just kind of in a holding pattern and kind of waiting and waiting and waiting. And then finally it happened. Like, it's going to be much of the same with Chase. There's not going to be small tidbits. I don't think it's not seeming like it's going to be as contentious as Jesse Bates and T Higgins, right? It definitely feels like if not when, or sorry,
Right.
when, not if.
Right.
There we go. That one. But